Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris and this is Restoration Rescue. So last week we came in and tossed in our radiator. So now we have everything set for our transmission cooler lines. However, ours are so bent up we don't know how they go. So we just did put an order in for two brand new ones and hopefully they'll be here later this week as we were just trying to prep and get ready for this. So we have the radiator mostly in. We are going to try and hook up the oil cooler lines and try and just tidy up. So we may get those lines in later this week. If they do, they may go on and we may record during the week this week because I have a lot of stuff to do to get this thing ready to win my dollar to have it ready by Christmas. So the filming of this is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So we do have a little bit of a time crunch going on. So I have a lot of work to do to get this thing running and driving like I told Uncle Al. So what we can do today is get those oil coolers hooked up. We can get that in. We can do the oil, get the oil in the truck. So that's a big step. Then start working on getting the power steering pump all hooked up. That is mostly hooked up, I believe. I have to go through, tighten the connections. This stuff is all connected. Throw a connector down here on this cooler, and that will be set up. Then we just have things that are going back together, which is cool. Got to find out where some of these things go, and some of these things, what they do. So that's a big learning experience. I'm still trying to find that tape, so I can start taping up these wires. I might just need to have to order some more, which is fine. We'll get that situated. So we have a lot of wiring harness that I'm still trying to figure out where it goes, which is interesting because pretty much everything I see is plugged in and connected. So we have a lot of work to do. That might be transmission, now that I come to think of it. That's fine, whatever. We have a lot of work to do, so we need to jump in and start doing work. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get under this truck and put in the oil cooler lines. So those will be quick and easy. I have two new quick connects that we had to order, and they are dormant. Now, the GM ones did not work, which is unfortunate because also our lines aren't GM. So these are the new ones. They have a connector like this, and the bottom just quick connects in. So let's go ahead. We are going to put this in. All right, so here we are under the truck, and we have our connectors, which we'll just at some point screw in if I can get my hands in the right spot. Now, these projects would be a whole lot easier if I had a lift. All right, so that one is starting to go in. That's good. And they are 1 inch on the size of for the ratchet or the socket. Ugh. Which sucks because all the 1 inch are super long, so they don't like to go in. It's kind of hard to get a wrench up in there. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Now, a lot of people were cutting these out because they were known to leak. So that is why these were plugged off, my guess, is that at some point in the previous owners, they leaked and they were given the option of plugging them. So that is what they did. All right, so this one is going to be in soon. Once it goes in 8 million turns. Ow. But we are getting close to the point where we can almost get an oil in this truck once these are in and that oil filter goes on, which will be a huge accomplishment in this build. But I'm going to do this and you guys enjoy. All right, so the oil cooler is set up and it is on. And now we have some new things for our cooling system. So went over to O'Reilly's, picked up some hose and a barb fitting. So I'm going to put the barb fitting on. And what I should do is get some clamps. So I'm going to go grab a couple clamps. We're going to toss this on. This goes from the water pump to the manifold. So I'm just going to push it on somehow when it goes on. But we're going to put that right in the top right here in the water pump. I'm going to go get some clamps and I'm going to toss that on. All right, so that hose is on, and now it's time to do something really cool. For the first time in almost 2 years, I'm going to fill this bad boy with oil. So I have the cheap O'Reilly's synthetic just to do the first steps of this. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit in and do what you're supposed to do is listen for leaks. So let's go ahead. Hopefully there are no leaks because I need both quarts of this for the engine. All right, so there is oil in. And so far so good, don't hear any leaks. That is 1 quart in, and I don't see any pool, so that's a good sign. So that's 1 quart, or 5 quarts down actually, 5 quarts. So I only need to put in maybe majority of this bottle. Let's see. All right, so now I haven't heard any leaks, which is good. I'm going to go ahead and put back on the oil cap. Now, unfortunately today we will not be starting the engine, and that is because I don't have any transmission lines or transmission fluid. But I think what I'm going to do is maybe kick over the engine. Just try and bump it and see what happens. So I do need to try and get the radiator away from the fan because I don't want that hitting. And just try and kick it once or twice just to hear the starter go, and just try and hear a couple things on this. Like I said, I don't hear or I don't see any leaks coming from this, so that's a good sign. I am really excited for that. So what we need to do is go grab the key, and I am going to just try and bump it a little bit, especially because I don't have a manifold on or anything crazy like that, and I know I don't have the fuel lines hooked up. All right, so that is so cool. For the first time in 2+ years, this truck has cranked over. Yes, we don't have any gas lines, so I do smell a little bit of gas that's leaking. I don't see any oil spewing out anywhere, which is good news. So that's good. That means we're sealed. Obviously, it wasn't going to start. I didn't have fuel, and I didn't have spark. None of the wires are hooked up for that. So now what we're going to do before we cut out is we are going to replace these old crappy headlights. Like, they're OEM. They are dull as anything. We found an online replacement that is pretty much direct. So we are going to go ahead and loosen these up. We are going to replace them and make this truck look even better. So let's go ahead, unbolt these, and put in the nice brand new ones. All right, everybody, we have headlights. We have kicked over the engine. This is getting really, really exciting. So we have run out of time for today. We'll see you guys next Saturday, but we are getting really, really close to starting this thing. So today is December 6th when this video comes out. So next week's video will be coming out on the 13th, which hopefully, I could kick this thing over for the first time with gas and everything and spark and run this thing. So hopefully today, or hopefully in a couple days, those lines show up for the trans lines. We can get all of this started to get buttoned back up. We have headlights now that look incredible. We have wiring harness, so we still need to do for the headlights, and this bucket's up here. Not too worried about it. We are looking really, really good. I can't wait to start this thing for the first time and hear it run. Now, I do have to do some work on a manifold to get that prepared, or just go buy a brand new one. But we'll see what happens. Now, that is going to be a wrap for today. We'll see you guys next Saturday where we continue working on the 454. So, we'll see you then.